Well, the celebration of the Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and of course that's the patronal feast of our diocese, so our bishop asked us to celebrate in all our parishes this weekend, and also the Father's Day, of course. Immaculate Heart of Mary. How do we understand heart? We know heart is the pump house, takes care of our body. It brings nutrition and oxygen to our cells. So if our heart stops working, means we are dying or we are dead. That's the physical heart. There is a biblical heart, which is a bit different, or philosophical heart, a bit different. If you read the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 368, you will see the human heart is understood as the depth of human being, where we see a human soul, intellect, and will. And that means we make all the basic decisions using our freedom in that part of heart, accepting God or denying God. So that's what we are talking about when we speak about heart. To come to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, we have to start with the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which we celebrated actually yesterday. We said Heart of Jesus is known as the seat of divine love. So his heart, the core of his being, was filled with the love of his Father on one side, and on the other side, the love of human beings. And because of that love, he came to be with us. And because of that love, he suffered for us. Because of that heart, he died for us. And of course, at the end, we see one of the soldiers bringing a lance and piercing his heart, and a drop of blood and water comes from it. That means the last, of course, blood is also a sign of life. So the last part of his life is given out. The last drop of his blood and water from his heart given out for us. That is the meaning of divine love, or the heart of Jesus. Now we come to Mary. The Immaculate Heart of Mary, again the seat of love, but here this is not the seat of divine love, but this is the seat of human love. But Mary's heart is the highest, or is the seat of the highest form of human love. You may ask why? Because the word we used before that heart, Immaculate Heart. She was created immaculate. That means no sin, no stain, no original sin. So she was created same as Eve and Adam were created, with no sin. But the difference is, Eve and Adam, they decided, using their heart, of course, their freedom, their will, their intellect, to walk away from God. But Mary, she decided all her life to be with God. So we can understand the work of her heart in three levels. Number one, undivided love for the Father in heaven. Undivided love. The second level is the undivided maternal love toward his Son, Jesus Christ. The third one is the compassionate love of Mary for every single human being, her children, in her Son, Jesus Christ. So that's how, but in all her life, in all the moments of her life, all the challenges she faced, she never failed in accepting in those three levels. Always undivided love of the Father, maternal love of her Son, and compassionate love toward us. And that's why we still call her. She was created, her heart in the beginning was immaculate, but all the time, every day of her life, all the days of her life, she continued that same status of immaculate heart. I said her heart or her love was the most, the highest form of human love. We are her children in Jesus Christ, of course. And how, of course, our hearts are not that level. But we can try our best imitating Mary in those three levels. Number one, our own undivided love for Father in heaven. Number two, for her it was her maternal love. For us it is our fraternal love for our brother Jesus Christ. Number three, our compassionate love toward all our fellow beings, the children of one and only God, brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ, and our own brothers and sisters, because they all belong to our one family. That's how we try to imitate Mary and her love in our own life. Now, coming to the Father's Day, wonderful celebration of the Father's Day. Of course, we all have, we know, when we celebrate Mother's Day, the image of mother from the moment of conception forever basically never changes. The mother can stay the same image. But the Father's image is different. The Father's image changes. When you are a tiny baby, like many of you I see there, you would hold your dad's hand, or your dad would hold your hand, and you walk with them, right? I saw you all coming together anyway. That's how we begin. But when we grow up, that Father's image and our relationship with the Father changes. At my age, I like to see the image of Father a bit different way. When I go to St. Anthony or other places in the summertime, through all these grass fields where cattle graze, I see in many places these stand-alone big oak trees in the middle of this field. And summertime, anytime, especially if it is toward the noon or afternoon, I see many of these cattle, they lie down under that tree. Of course, we know the tree makes a big difference in the temperature around it. Some 5 to 9 degree Fahrenheit or 2 to 5 degree Celsius change, become cooler. If you are around a tree, or if you are under the tree or the shade, the temperature difference is going to be very different. Could be from 20 to 45 degree Fahrenheit cooler. Some 11 to 25 degrees Celsius cooler if you are under the tree shade. So these animals would go there and they lie down there, they take their rest. So that tree is, in my view, the Father's image. The tree is there. The animal, the cattle, or the birds, they all go there. Under the scorching sun, they are getting shade. The evapotranspiration makes that possible, and the shade, it cools them down. If it is pouring down rain, of course, some of the animals will go and sit or stand under the tree for getting protection. I think that's the image of Father, the way I see it now in my age. Of course, it will change in the course of time. That protection. Anyway, some of us do not have that image in our life, unfortunately. That may be your case. Some of you have this tree there in that field, but you don't experience that shade or cool climate, or the comfort or protection. That may be the case. Some of you are still enjoying the protection of that shade, leafy tree in your life. Wonderful. We cannot go back in time. or space or change anything in our relationship with our Father on earth. We cannot change anything. We cannot change anybody, because sometimes people make their own decisions with their freedom. Maybe they are not good for their children. It happens, it happened. But this Father's Day, when we celebrate the Immaculate Heart of Mary, reminds us, you can be that wonderful shady oak tree in that field that provides shelter and protection to many, that provides its branches for many birds to nest. You can be that Father image in this world in many different ways. You can be that one who provides protection to many. You can be that one who provides comfort to many. You can be that one who provides consolation to many. That's the challenge. Becoming or learning more from the Immaculate Heart of Mary, that undivided love for our Father in heaven, undivided love for our brother Jesus Christ, and that undivided love or compassionate love for all our fellow beings.